Yo, listen, Ali Oxenfree people, it's your favorite gentleman, Dapper Douglas, man. I'm here with my guy, the hair raiser. What's my man? What's your name, my guy?
Eclipse the Barber.
Eclipse the Barber, man. I have to get like a little photo of you though, but
Yeah,
hey,
all right.
welcome to what? Episode 3, Gentleman's Corner. Listen, man, D, I'm gonna start it off, man. So, one of the most humble guys that I know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna say he's super humble, man. Only because we got on the horn and he said he threw away all his trophies. You got rid of all the trophies, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Got rid of all the trophies.
He had no room for
He had no room for the trophies. You had all the receipts. Now,
That's what it is.
I'm gonna take what Marv said 4 to 5 years ago. I'm probably what? At the time he said, and I'm gonna still stay with it, probably what? Top 5 elite in the state. D hair raiser. I still give you that, you know what I mean? Surgeon on the Clippers. Somebody that can tell you, hey, this dude pushed your line back, man, so this is where I'm gonna fix it at, and it just works out, man. So it's a pleasure to be back in the chair, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, yo, when I seen you a couple of years ago, I was like, man, I missed you. And then I seen you post on Instagram. I was like, man, hey, you out here catfishing or something, man, or capping, because I'm like, you ain't back in the city like that, man. You supposed to be in Carolina, man, enjoying the beach, the fam, the daughter, and everything, man. Then I seen shops. I was like, hold on, because you know I'm a mailman by trade.
Yeah.
I said 16th and Columbia. What's up, there with fam, man? I had to pull up on you, man.
Yeah.
So my question is, man, how did Carolina work out, and was it a good fit or not a good fit?
Carolina was cool. It was definitely a good fit. I was summoned back with what it was.
Got you.
I was literally chilling out there. Wasn't nothing really shaking. It was COVID, so nothing was going.
Right.
Mr. Williamson called me and asked me to help him here. He had just opened up his barbershop. And he said, man, he needs some help. Can you come help me? And so I got on the plane and showed up and helped him for a few months.
Right.
Left, went back home, chilling. He called a few months later and said, can you come help me again? So I showed up again, helped him some more. He then called me again. We did this 2 more times. On the 4th time that I showed up, I had a round trip ticket, and I never used it to go back home. I'll let you later, man. That was Eclipse the Barber leaving. So I'm here just helping him. I done went and got a house, another car. So now I just feel like I'm here now.
Right.
And then Mr. Williamson retired. And when he retired, he talked to me and he said, I set all this up really for you. My plan was always to retire, and then you just took it over. And so he literally gifted me a barbershop.
Now, how long have you known Mr. Wilson?
I had known Mr. Williamson I've known Mr. Williamson since 2014. We went to Kay's Beauty College together, Beauty and Barber College. We went there together to get our instructor's license. He kind of just took me under his wing at that point and just started showing me the way. I knew Mr. Williamson before I knew Potter or Marv.
Gotcha.
So he's just always been the guy that's been in my corner from the beginning, from the very beginning. And then that's when Mr. Potter started to get into also, and then went over to Oliver's Barbershop on 22nd Street with Marvin.
Gotcha. Now, what was you doing before you was cutting?
Before I was cutting,
Yeah.
I was an accountant.
An accountant.
Yep.
Sheesh. For like bank or Fortune 500 company or
Merrill Lynch.
Maryland? Yeah. Okay. So numbers man.
Yeah, I was really a financial advisor is what I was.
Okay.
I got an accounting degree. And so I was dealing with people's finances, showing them how to have their money right.
Mm-hmm. Now you still got some of them skill sets, right?
I do.
Got you.
I don't use them too much. I try not to actually,
Ooh.
except for my own. Like I'll deal with my own,
Right.
but I try not to use them. But sometimes people will call me and need my services, and I'll help them out.
Got you. So how long was you doing the accounting thing?
I graduated in 2003. So I became a barber in 2010. So 7 years.
7 years. Yeah. Now, what was the transition into doing the barber thing? What made you even want to pick up the clippers?
Honestly, I don't know.
That's cool too.
I had a daughter, so I got a daughter, and my daughter, I didn't know how to do her hair, and I was like, I gotta figure this out,
Right.
and got injured playing basketball, and was off work for a year, and was getting my hair cut weekly, and went to my barber. And I asked him, I said, man, what does it take for one to be a barber? He said, you gotta go to school. I said, without really telling me your business or how much money you make, back then, haircuts was probably $15. Let's just say $15.
Right.
I'd give him $25. Move on. I said, I know there's other people like me that's giving me $25, but how much do you actually make without really telling me your business?
Right.
He said, oh, I can tell you, I make $1,500 a month. $1,500 a week. I said, yo, what? and so I said, well, how would I sign up for school or anything like that? He said, well, you go online, there's a few schools. He told me, he said his words were, there's Kenny's, and then there's everybody else. And I said, so you saying Kenny's is the best? And he says, yeah. And I said, oh, well, I did my own research. Kenny's wasn't the best for me. And so I went to K's. And so once I did that, I learned how to do my daughter's hair. And then this was the first time I had ever picked up clippers also. And I was horrible at it. But that's what got me there was really I wanted to cut my daughter. I wanted to learn how to do my daughter's hair.
Right. We didn't want her out there looking crazy when she was
I
at 5. Right?
Man, I had her out here looking bad, man.
I'm glad God didn't give me no daughters, man. I wanted one, but now I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, man, I had that girl looking a hot mess.
Jeez.
I was finding everybody to do her hair at this point. Anybody.
Man. So then K's worked out for you.
Yeah, K's worked out.
Now, you picking up? Because I mean, at first, yeah, you're not gonna be good at first though. But what made you? So what helped you hone your skills?
Keep doing it.
Of course.
That was it. I just did it every day and watched videos. And I'm gonna give you this story though, because you saw Potter a few weeks ago.
Right.
Potter was one of the first people that I went to and asked him for advice. I was working at a barbershop. Guy told me about Potter. I goes over there. Potter says, "Let me see your work." I'm telling him about stuff, telling him what I like to do. He said, "Let me see your work." I said, "All right." I show it to him. I said, "What you think?" He said, "I think you need to work on everything." I said, "Oh."
Jeez.
I was standing up when I gave it to him. When I gave him my Instagram, I gave him my phone. He was looking through it. When he said that, I just took the phone back and went and sat down. I said, "Work on everything?" He said, "Everything."
Jeez.
You don't do nothing right. Like, oh, okay. And so you gotta be a special type of guy to sit there, still sit there after that.
Right.
I sat there for another 30 minutes and said, "Okay, what's my next steps then?" I said, "I need to begin somewhere." I kept asking him questions. And he gave me a little bit. He didn't give me a lot. He gave me a little bit. Took that. Kept doing stuff. And eventually started to get better. And could see it. I was on 22nd Street. Potter had came in one day, and this is years later. He had came in one day, and he started shaking his head, or nodding his head. He was nodding it. And I said, "What?" He said, his exact words was, "Yo, F.A. ornery." He said, "You better not get the big head, because you still got more to go." He said, "But you on your way." He said, "You've been working on everything like I told you."
That's what's up.
And so that's how that came.
Shout out to Mr. Potter, aka OG Don Potter, man. I love him, man. He's so solid, man.
Yeah.
Man. So then after that, man, where do we go? Because you said some years later, man, you got the nod, basically. You know what I mean? Just like, man, keep going, don't get a big head, man. After that, so you was on 22nd and Meridian or somewhere else?
When he did that, I was on 22nd Street. When I had talked to him the initial time, I was working at a place out west called Hot Styles, and I was still kind of new.
Got you.
So I didn't really know too much at that point.
Understood. And my thing was too, you know, after getting the head nod, he came in on, 22nd Street. What did that do for you mentally as far as a confidence booster?
That just let me know that I was getting better, and so I was always had low confidence in posting or doing anything. But if somebody that has been doing this long enough says something, then you yourself have to start looking at what you do.
Right.
And it just started to click for me that, hey, maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am. And so then I started to enter competitions. And I was taught what I learned was, what I thought I learned at that time was this will validate whether or not I'm good. I later found out that's not what validates you, but at that time, that's what it was.
Because in essence, it's like respect amongst peers
Yep.
that are in the industry, you know. So, how many tournaments or competitions were you in, you know, after that? Or when did you start going to competitions or
Started
something?
going to competitions 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what it was. 2016 was when I started doing competitions. And I ended in 2018. So I did a 2-year span
Got you.
of barber competitions. I ended up with 20 trophies.
Mm-hmm. Now with 20 trophies, how does that really work out? Are we talking from like a category standpoint as far as fades, high top, creativity? What are you judged on?
Everything you just said.
Okay.
Everything you just said. And there was certain categories that you got in. It wasn't just like one big competition. You would have several categories that you could choose from, excuse me. And I just so happen to always choose total looks or old school categories. And I would win those.
Got you.
I understood that creativity was one of my strong suits. And as far as my mind could go with a haircut or a theme of a haircut, I had the ability to get there.
Got you.
And with no limitations. Well, there was one limitation one time. I brought fire into the building. They told me I couldn't have fire.
What was you trying to do with the fire?
Oh man, I don't know. I was blow something up. Something was gonna get blown up. I was trying to bring dynamite. I was gonna blow up something, but they told me that was prohibited. It was also a government building, so but I didn't care. I wasn't in the rules that I couldn't, so I was doing it. So
that's what's up. You know, so now that we fast forward, man, you got the competitions, because the competitions, like you said, you know, we both kind of affirmed validation amongst peers too, but was it the mindset of just being like, hey, I'm the best around here? I got the hardware to prove it, you know?
no, not for me. I never thought, now that I'm doing this, I'm the best around. I never felt like that. I always felt that the people that sat in the chair were the best people. The people thought that you were the best. Because if I could have went anywhere, and I said, who the best that y'all know in this as a barber? And if I go online right now, somebody's gonna say, give me the best barber. And there's gonna be 20 different barbers in that thread.
Right.
I don't know who the best at that point. If I was a consumer, I don't know who the best. No, they all the best, because they all the best to who's for you.
Right.
Whoever is for you is the best.
Got you.
Because I'm not for everybody. You know, I'm gonna do what I want to do most of the time. You gonna come in, you gonna ask me for something, I'm gonna be like, man, yeah, right. You get this.
Exactly. You know.
I ain't even gonna ask you what you want most of the time. I'm gonna just start cutting your hair. Because I feel like this is what you need.
Oh, man. Well, another good question I want to ask too. So, this right here is basically, this is a blessing though, just to get the phone call, hey, I need some help. But because Mr. Williamson already seen the talent, he's already seen everything, like, you know, from a mentor, from a mature standpoint, somebody that, you know, he trusts. Like, I've always had this plan just to turn this over to you when I retire.
Yeah.
Like, how did you even feel when that happened?
First off, you never plan for your friend to retire on you.
Right.
That's already, it's a little nerve-wracking. It's a little, you don't know what to do. I felt a little lost, because I'm like, who's my person that I go to? You know, I call Potter all the time, but Mr. Williams is in the building with me. So if I can just really ask him. And now if he ain't here, and then I'm the person that's the head person, who I'm supposed to call?
Right.
Who I'm supposed to ask questions to at that point?
Right.
I got to figure it out.
Now, if you don't mind me asking you, what are those questions as far as being a shop owner now and having your own thing?
Oh, I realized I didn't know nothing. Like, where I take the money to? Where I deposit the money?
Right.
we on commission. Where do I take this money to, man?
Right.
When do I know when the drawer is? When I should go to the bank? As far as clients are concerned, I had no issue with that. I've been doing that for years. It was, I got to manage these people. How I do that? When this person mad and that person mad because they feel like I made the wrong decision. Do I change my decision? Do I to appease them, or do I keep my decision and figure it out and hopefully it works? And am I supposed to always have the right answer?
What would you say to an up-and-coming beautician? I like saying beautician better than barber or hairstylist, man. Or hairstylist can be good too, but as far as like in this industry, somebody that's aspiring to have, because you guys will see when I do this B-roll footage, man, the shop is amazing, great locale, but because everybody has that entrepreneur title. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Well, like, what does that mean? Like, normally I always think of it as providing a service that everybody can benefit from, i.e., everybody needs a haircut. They need their hair done sometime. But one of the things that Mr. Potter has said too, you don't want to start off with 10, 12 chairs. You want to start off with a couple of chairs so you can learn, so you can focus on learning rather than earning. And I would write treasure chest to my guy Potter. That's the treasure chest, Jim. I kept that with me from our interview. But that right there will alleviate some unnecessary stress while you deal with the big stresses of just being a shop owner, learning how to, like you said, manage emotions and delegating responsibility.
When I took over, we had 5 chairs and 7 barbers. After I realized that's not how many people I can manage at one time, I'm gonna do this. We got 3 chairs and 3 barbers.
And you start getting the boys to add.
Like, it's over. Like, I gotta figure this out a different way. And making that change, some people be like, wait a minute, why would you do that? You would lose money because you got less barbers. Possibly. I gained my sanity back. I gained my freedom of what I can and can't do. And if I want somebody else, I understand how I should start them off.
So what is that process though? So like, what are some of the conundrums or problems of having 7 chairs in your situation and managing behaviors, and what were those beauticians, asking for?
Okay, so let me do this. So I know you keep saying beauticians, but we're definitely barbers.
Gotcha.
A beautician or a cosmetologist is someone that works with hair, nails, skin.
Gotcha.
A barber works with all of that, razors. We have a different area that we deal with, and it's larger. A beautician is somebody I look at and say, or a cosmetologist and say, okay, you went to school. But a barber is somebody that it's a prestigious title.
Gotcha.
So I'll never say we're beauticians ever.
Gotcha.
I'll always say barber.
Gotcha.
Because that's what I have. I have a barber's license. I don't have a cosmetology license.
Gotcha.
So as somebody that is a barber, the thing that I had the most was my professionalism, and the way I see things isn't the way everybody else is going to see things, or their professionalism doesn't match up. What I have learned Now, in my interview process, is to have people write down what their values are. If I ask you, give me 5 of your values, I guarantee our 5 of our values are going to match. Give me 5 of your values. Give me 5.
My values are definitely going to be honesty, truth, definitely respect, professionalism,
It's financial
stability. Yeah, financial stability is
And
definitely
what else?
going to be one.
Okay.
And I already said, I said truth already,
Yeah,
didn't I?
yeah.
Yeah, because it's definitely good, and great communication skills.
Okay, cool. Let's run with it, okay?
Yep.
Any business in the world, those are the same values they have too. It's about 40 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has the same values. Everybody in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your number one?
My number one. I don't want to be lied to or played. Honesty is mine. I want you to be straight up with me.
Somebody else's though, and I'm not speaking mine was also that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else's honesty might be number 7 on that list. You got the same values,
But
your value that you put on your value is way higher than somebody else's.
Got you.
So what I came across a few times is financial stability isn't a value of mine. It's not high on my list. That might be last on my list.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that I hired or were hiring, that was number 1 on their list. But what I realized is that doesn't match up because you're looking for money and I'm not. I'm looking for somebody that's honest. I'm looking for somebody I can respect. I'm looking for somebody that's going to have great customer service. I'm looking for somebody that's going to have a sense of humor. I'm looking for somebody with something else that had nothing to do with money.
Looking for loyalty.
Loyalty. I'm looking
You know what I mean?
for other things. And because for me, money will show up because we showed up. As long as I'm here, that door will open and somebody will come here and get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
So if money is your first option, is your first value, and it's not mine, we're going to bump heads. Because you're worried about how to get people in the door, and I'm worried about a new broom to sweep up the place.
Right.
Because I want the place to be clean.
Exactly.
What's the best scent that I can have for a candle? You see what I mean? So if I'm talking about candle scents and you talking about money and scents,
Yeah, we not on the same.
We on the same page.
Yeah, we're not on the page at all.
So that's what I've had to start doing is having people write down their values from most important to least important. If those values don't match up, most to least in mine, within a 2-spot range, we're probably no good for each other. And you can take that with a relationship.
Exactly. So you basically took a fine-tooth comb once you got in position. And just started, such and such ain't gonna work, this person ain't gonna work. Hey man, you gotta go. This ain't gonna work for me.
It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. Hey, we moving in a different direction. Few people weeded themselves out. They saw what I was doing and said, "Oh, I'm getting out of here."
Right.
Oh, okay, good. Now I don't have to do it.
Yep. And from the looks of it, man, you pretty much content with your decision.
Well, what I did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I am definitely content with it.
Less stress. You can manage 3 or 1 or.
And I don't really have to manage none because everybody else, like I said, Mr. Williamson, he unretired and came back and started working here. I don't got to manage that. Now he back and I can ask all the questions I want.
Right.
But now I done did it for so long without him, I don't really need to. Now he just takes care of the shop like it's his anyway, Steve. And I allow that. Go ahead. Eclipse the Barber figured it out, and he started doing the same thing. So everybody's doing the same thing. If you walk in here, you wouldn't know who the owner was.
And I didn't. Hey, that
You
is
had
a
no
true
clue
statement,
who the
man.
owner was.
I didn't know who. Like when I walked in, I didn't know. I remember we spoke before, man. Like, yo, I took over the shop though. But when I came back in here, I seen Mr. Wilson. I was like,
Yeah,
all
you
right.
got no clue who it is.
I had no clue. I was
People
like,
come in all the time. They still say he's the owner right there. Like we play, yes he is.
mm-hmm.
There's some people that actually Eclipse. Eclipse, you the owner? Yes he is.
Because they treat the shop like it's theirs.
Yep.
So is that number one on your list? As far as like, hey, treat this like it's yours in a sense.
Not number one on my list, but I want you to have that high.
Have that high.
Yeah.
Got you. At least top three.
Top five.
Top five.
I'll take top five.
Gotcha.
Yep. I'll take top five as that.
Got you.
Because if you do that, then all the other stuff will fall into place. If you treat the shop like it's yours, you'll be honest, you'll be respectful, you'll have the customer service, you'll be clean. Like it'll be what I wanted it anyway, and it'll be what you want.
Right. So barbershop etiquette.
Yeah.
That is subjective. What is your definition to the term, man?
So it depends. Are you the client? Are you the barber?
I'm gonna have to ask from a barber's perspective. As far
Barber's
as-
perspective. From a barber's perspective, barbershop etiquette is for me is making sure that everybody that comes through the door feels welcome, like you want them to be here. It's also about keeping language and content down. When you came in here, we playing modern music. You ain't heard one cuss word. We try to put all the clean stuff in.
Gotcha.
I don't care what the song is, as long as it has good content and it can have some okay content and it's no cuss words. Or we try to minimize the cuss words. I won't say none because sometimes they slip through the cracks.
Right.
And so I feel I've said to the staff, hey, if we here for 10 hours or 8 hours and we get 15 cuss words, all right, I'm gonna live with that. like it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
We keep the TV on different content. We got different times of the day that we'll play certain stuff. The movie Air with the Michael Jordan movie, we played it in here. We played it in the morning where we knew kids would be at school. It wasn't a bad movie, but it had some cuss words. It had some content in there that was just like a few times it got a little off. And so it was like, it's a good enough for adults and it's still kind of clean enough for everybody. But a kid could watch it, but they won't watch it here.
Right.
So when it was time for kids to get out of school, we'll put on Ant-Man or Spider-Man or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that may have a few hails in there or something, or damn, it might have that. It might have shit in there, I don't know.
Right.
But it's okay content. Like it's cool. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah. And it's already imitating life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, got you. Now, from a customer standpoint, too, because I know now that, so I'm gonna ask this too, as far as like the revolution of barbering now, and I guess I could go into the beautician because they are, as far as like the software standpoint of using the apps, you know, to book your appointments, and you have basically everything written out of what you expect on the app. You know what I mean, as far as being tardy or truant in a sense, you know what that's going to cost. Everything's going to cost now as well, but how has that made it convenient for you over the past years?
Well, as far as with booking and stuff?
Yeah, like booking and using the software, like all the apps and everything.
The
too.
booking is legit. It's getting the people to book is the issue. It's the one. What I'll first say is most of our clients are going to book. They've learned to do that, and you have to train the people for lack of better words, you got to train them to do that. Like go online, book it, do what you got to do. I'll see you when you get here. But you have the ones that don't want to do it or try to get over on doing it, and it's like Like, don't make my job harder. Like, I'm paying, it's like an assistant. I'm paying the assistant to do this.
Yeah, to make it easy.
So
for
if I
both
have
of
to
us.
do it, why am I paying them?
Right.
Why am I paying somebody to do their job?
Right.
Like, just deal with the assistant so I can keep cutting hair. Now, I am going to ask this question on camera. How do you want your beard? Or do you want
I don't. Do I have one? I can't grow a beard. I don't have any facial hair.
It's here. It's
there?
It's there. I mean, I can make it happen. Or do you just want to cut off and just keep this?
All right, let's cut that off and keep the goatee.
Keep
It's part of the caricature. But I think I'm gonna come back and try to do a beard, man.
Well, what I'll do is this. I'll line this up right here and show you that you get at least right here. It's just us just being funny. I told you I'd do what I want.
Yeah, when you light it up, let me see it, man.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
definitely about to let you see it.
my wife might be like, oh no. Cause I told her, I said, babe, I can't grow facial hair to save my life. I can't Google no type of fruit, vegetable, nothing.
I think definitely got facial hair right there. See if you can see.
Close. Close.
I think so.
For sure. That's what's up. I never knew I could do a chin strap.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as the etiquette is concerned, for me, with as the client for a client, I want them to book. I want them to follow directions. I don't want them on the phone while I'm cutting their hair.
Right.
I want them to be focused. If you're always looking down, and then I go to this one, I'm gonna cut you while you're looking down. When I show you the mirror, you say, well, my line is slanted. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be slanted. Because you was looking down the whole time. I never got to see you straight ahead.
Right.
So you deal with your slant, because I'm not going over it again. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Hopefully you won't be on your phone.
Right.
Because I'm not about to hurt my back for you to be on the phone. I don't want people to smell like weed. Like, because, and this is a true story. Like, had a guy came in, smelled like weed. This is what made me stop. Stop dealing with clients that came in and smelled like weed. Came in and smelled like weed. The weed is on my cake. Take the next person. Weed is now on him. He goes to the daycare to go pick up his son. Guess who called CPS on him for smelling like weed? The man don't even smoke.
The daycare called on him?
Yep.
Oh.
Imagine that phone call, man. He called me, hey, bro. And they got me going to CPS for because I smelled like weed. They smelled like weed. I didn't smoke nothing. I got you, bro. I'll make sure it never happens again, ever in your life.
When you sit in this chair.
Yeah. I gave that man free haircuts for a long time. For a long time, I gave him free haircuts.
Man, shout out to you for that.
And never again. You come in, you smell like we're gonna push you back outside. Go outside, air out. You got 10 minutes. If you're not aired out in 10 minutes, your appointment is canceled. I'm still charging you, and I'll holler at you next time. Figure it out. So, like that etiquette, that type of etiquette. Be mindful of the next person that's got to sit down in the chair. Because I'm not sitting here waiting on just you all day.
Gotcha. See, I also thought too, I like the software standpoint when I first started. I think I started using it when I started coming to you more as far as booking, really my wife. But I thought it was a good, secure way to make sure that barbers got paid.
Oh yeah, it's definitely that too. That's part of it. Some people will think Well, you know, you sitting there cutting hair all day. You'll figure it out. It's okay. You don't need my little money or whatever it is, or people don't respect your time. And it's like, yo, I could have been doing something else. Somebody else could have had that spot.
Right.
Anything. And so it is a security blanket for us also, that it ensures that I get paid. And for those that want to question that, I would just say, go to work for 8 hours. When you get off of work, your boss is going to walk up to you and say, I know you was here for 8, we gonna pay you for 5, and walk off on you.
No, that's not gonna fly.
No, that ain't flying. Something else is flying.
Yeah,
Somebody about to fly.
Yeah, we gonna wrestle with here.
So if you feel like that for you and your money, well, how you think I'm gonna feel about me and my money?
How many stories of that? Because that's one thing I forgot to ask down at Barbershop, slipping that
Oh, no,
in because he's been cutting since like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because back then you didn't have the software back then, so people can you never knew when somebody got in your chair. It was like Russian roulette.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Instead of being honest and being like, man, I know I booked with you, but I do not have it. You know what I mean? Try to just get in the chair, get the cut, and just run out the door.
And then they trying to run off or say they ain't got it. I've had that happen a few times earlier in my career. Now, I don't care. Somebody can try it. I'm gonna let them run. I ain't gonna run after them. I done made enough money. I'm at a different point in my life. They probably needed it more than I did. So, whatever. But what that also does is it starts to make it bad for other people. Because if I now say all walk-ins have to prepay, and I change the rule, you're gonna feel some type of way about that. But it's because somebody blew it before you. Somebody caused me to do this. Every rule that's ever been made in any business is because somebody broke it. Somebody did something and they had to make a rule about it.
Crazy. So my question now is pricing. There's been a huge debate online, which I really don't try to pay too much attention online. I find it funny because you got people, hey, this person paid $250 for a cut, this guy. And sometimes I think it's just more marketing or to get views on the page, because I'm not gonna say somebody in their right mind would pay it. It just depends on the situation and the scenario. But how do you give yourself margin to grow if you come out the gate trying to, I'm gonna have to quote Potter again. Shout out to OG Potter. Make people pay for your mistakes or your crazy lifestyle. Like, what's a good starting point for somebody coming out of college?
Coming out of school? I don't judge that. I don't know what the good price is for that.
What about generically in 2023 with everything going on in the finance world?
I had nothing for that either.
Got nothing for that.
I don't put a price on what people think that they should make.
Got you. That's right.
I know that I try to make it to where people can afford me for the service that I'm giving. People just watch this whole service. Cut your hair, hot towel, massage. I would throw a shampoo in if needed. $50.
Right. But I've been trained by you though, low key, like to just wash my hair before I come anyway, just because I don't want to mess your clippers up. Right? You know what I mean?
But
So
that was something that I had to do. It was like, hey,
right.
This is why I do this. There's always a reason why. And so somebody coming out of school, if a person came out of school and Let's use Eclipse the barber.
Gotcha.
Let's use him. Eclipse the barber, I got him out of barber school. Let's say Eclipse the barber comes in and say, I want to charge 50. Oh, do you? Are you a $50 barber? Let's say you say, I want to charge 30. Are you a $30 barber? What's your skill level? Have you put your skill level against the people that are charging 30? And I'm not talking about your peers that you went to school with. I'm talking about the people that's been in the game that are really, really good that are charging 30. When Potter was charging 30, could you put yourself against Potter and say, well, my haircuts are just about where his are at $30. My service is just about where his is. When I was raising prices, I would call Potter and say, Potter, this is what I'm raising him to. This is my service. Is that okay with you? That was me just respecting the fact that I might be charging more than you, bro. But am I doing the right thing for charging more than you? And he would tell me, yes. There was a couple of times he was like, no. I'm gonna run with that.
Right.
Because I don't want to price myself out the game. So, as of right now, I'm where I am. Like, whatever my price is whatever the price is. But I guarantee you the price is gonna match the service.
Gotcha.
I don't care if you want to pay $30. I don't care if you want to pay $50. I don't care. I got a $200 haircut. Oh, is it? Yeah, $200. And I guarantee it's gonna match the service.
I didn't look all the way on that service, but keep going, though.
like whatever you want. You remember I was doing man units.
Yeah.
Those were $700. I got a $700 haircut. You want it?
Right. For the whole unit.
I'll get you there.
Gotcha.
Whatever you want, whatever your price point is that you want, I'm going to do it. I got a service for that price. Now I don't go below a certain number. There's some people that be like, hey, if they got $10, I'll give them $10 haircut. Well, for me, I'm not.
Right.
I'm just not.
$10 won't turn the clippers on.
Nah, $10 on. I'm gonna sit there. I'm like, hey, you go to somebody else. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna do something else.
Right.
I don't want my body to stand up 2 minutes for a $10 haircut.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good.
Especially 23.
Yeah, I said I'm just fine. I said, man, you don't even understand. My lunch. You didn't even pay for lunch for me at that point. And it ain't like Potter said. And that's nobody's fault. That's my lifestyle. But I also don't have to. I ain't about to take your money either.
Right. I'm just gonna let you know straight up, man.
I don't got it for you, bro.
Right.
I'd rather cut it for free if I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
You came in with $10, I might as well cut it for free. That now you gotta wait for me, and I'm gonna want to do it. So that's where I am with it.
Gotcha. So, where do you see the industry of barbering next 10, 20 years?
I don't know. It's confusing right now. It's confusing because you got the young guys coming in wanting to charge what the older guys was charging. You got the cats that came out with me. We're the middle people, and we got a lot of us that's not trying to teach the younger people. Like, we supposed to be the bridge from the younger to the older. And we're not getting a lot of that. We're not getting a lot of education. A lot of people are still looking at this like a hustle versus a business. I've told my barbers, this is a business. It just so happens to be a barbershop. It's not a barbershop. It's a business first. Because if you treat it as a barbershop, that's where you get people to say, well, the barbershop life is this. What's the business life? What's to make it, when people see Chop Chop Barbershop, when people see TRCA, when people see V's and Fishers or V's or even Great Clips, what is the first vision in their head? Like, it should be everything on the up and up. not, oh yeah, they smoke weed over there. It's a shootout over there, or the Barbers is this, or they always late, they do this. Like I said, there's a lot of barbershops that are ran business-like. It just so happened to be a barbershop. Walmart is a business. They just so happen to sell food and clothes.
Right.
And automotive and whatever.
Medicine and whatever else you can get up to.
Because Meijer is the same business.
Same business model.
So these are businesses. Chick-fil-A is a business. They just so happen to have chicken sandwiches. Like, so if I don't know where it's going right now. Right now, it looked confusing. When I was coming up, people, the older cats grabbed to us and was like, "Hey, do this, do this, do this," and we start taking it. But somewhere it started changing, and it's like, when it started changing? Why are we telling the younger cats y'all cannot charge $40 coming out of school, man? Like, why? You cannot wake up at 1 p.m. and be like, I'm gonna get to the shop and I'll leave about 4 or 5. Like, no, you probably want to be the first there and the last to leave if you want to build clientele. Because you watching the older cats, you're like, that's such and such. If somebody looked at me during the day, I swear they think that I ain't did no work all day. Like, what did he do today?
Right.
Well, I probably cut 6 heads. But I made them count. Like, I made them 6 heads count. And I'm okay with cutting 6 heads today. Like, as a young cat coming in, where your clientele at? You tell me you got a roster of 300?
Right.
Because if you do, I got nothing else to say. I ain't saying that. Eclipse sat and did stuff all day. You remember when he would sit all day, open the clothes, he was just there. Now, he might not take a walk in. And that's okay. Like, that's cool. Like, you built that. That's what you got, a roster of 300 people, bro. You got that. So, when did it become cool for them to, and I'm saying the younger generation, because that's who we always got to look to. You don't look to the older generation no more. They did what they were supposed to do, or wasn't supposed to do. Right. Whatever it was, they're done. Then it's us. It's like, we're in it now. Like, what are we doing right now? And then it's, are we teaching them that, hey, man, y'all are messed up for this. I've gotten a rap now in the last couple of years of, I want to talk to him. Because I'm going to make sure I tell you. Like, nah, you blew it, man. You blowing it. What's this? I don't care if you want to hear it or not. It's like, you making me look bad.
So was the disconnect accountability, or is that one of the things? Is accountability?
Yeah.
Then too, because I got to come from a customer standpoint. The customer is only going to focus on price. Sometimes I think there's a couple of bullet points. It's going to price, service, and skill.
Yep.
Because you said something riveting earlier in the interview too. $30 haircut, or let's say 25, 30, 40, 50, $200, $700. These come with different products and services. You know what I mean? But you've built the clientele. You have the skill set. You're one of the top cats in the region. You know what I mean? You threw all the trophies away. I want to get. I keep saying I bring that up because I wanted to get B-roll. That's all that was. I just wanted to get, even with Potter, because Potter said all his burnt up.
All his burnt up.
All his burnt up. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what I mean? But I get it. So the disconnect is accountability. Then you're being influenced by cats on the internet that are about numbers and analytics. Hey, I just took Johnny here who got out of school, and why are you charging this when you can charge $100 a head? But with the cat that's good with numbers is not thinking 5-10 years, because like you said, you're looking at it as a hustle, not as a business. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool now. I'm so fixed to get Chick-fil-A, I'll pay $12 for the deluxe. Because I went from paying $4 for it And I understand, you know, it's like every year your rent's going to go up. You know what I mean? And barbers have to live too, reasonably. You know what I mean?
Like
if
if I
I'm,
still
go ahead.
take $20, but eggs is $8.
I gotta make that make sense. I got a mortgage. I might have rent, car payment. I still got a kid. I gotta put, you know what I mean? Like, and again, finance. You was in finance, so you already carrying the one in your head before I even got in your chair. You know what I mean? So the disconnect is accountability.
Yep.
And people not in the younger generation thinking they know more. Like, it's beneficial, and that's why I'm glad I did it.
Even the young cats, though, I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
Even the young cats that we're not even teaching them how to even control their environment and control their chair. You've been with me a while. You've known me for a while. You ain't never seen nobody act crazy in my chair. You ain't never seen nobody run my chair.
Right.
Nah, like, man, we had a person come in, and she comes in, she's walking by and came up, examining the haircut. I said, yo, are you a barber? No, mom, it don't matter. Are you a barber? I'm a mom. Hair, are you a barber?
Right.
Because what? Let that man finish his haircut. I need to make sure it's done right. The thing about this is, we don't make cold calls. Barbers don't make cold calls. We're not calling people, telemarketing and saying, hey, come sit in my chair. You gotta make the effort, the choice to do that. Once you've done that, you've gave away all power. We gotta do this now. And you gotta let me do this until I'm done. And then I will give you the courtesy of saying, do you need me to change anything? But I don't need you to, I don't see nobody's walking around, ain't no random person saying, let me make sure you delivering that meal right.
Right.
I ain't never seen nobody go to Grease Pizzeria and be like, who making the pizzas? Let me walk back here and make sure you're doing that. Man, get out of my face with that.
Because that's
Treat us the same exact way.
with the respect.
That's it.
You're not gonna go behind the counter and make sure that they put the marinara sauce correctly on
And
there.
you
No,
got
I
young
got
cats
this.
just letting mugs take their clippers and showing them how to. Bruh, man, I wish somebody would touch these clippers. I wish somebody would.
Especially the goat. You still got the
Especially the
goat.
goat.
You got the goat joint. Yeah, man.
Like, I wish somebody would. Like, man, I paid $500 for these clippers.
I know. I looked at them.
Would touch my stuff.
Right. Oh no.
So it's about like that. It's even about just attitude, period, of, hey, control the environment. You got young cats don't even know how to control the environment. How you charging 40 and can't control your chair?
Sheesh, man.
You gotta be able to do that. You got crowd control, everything. Like, you gotta be able to control stuff if you want to charge. Because people are gonna come in. They're not just, whatever I charge, it's not because I'm good at cutting hair. It comes with a lot of other stuff. I went to school. I went to different classes. If I charge you $300 for a color, for a cut and color, it's because I went to 5 different color classes. I paid $200 a piece to learn this. You're no longer paying for me to be good. You're paying for the knowledge that I got. You're paying because I'm me now. Like, because I've invested in myself enough to apply it and say it's going to work. You may not, you sit down in my chair, you tell me you want white hair. You don't know the process. I better know though, if I'm about to charge you $500.
Right.
Well, I better know the process. And I better be able to spit it out to you. I better be able to spit it out to you and you follow that and you watch it happen. So if I say, hey, I need to bleach it, I need to do this, I need to do that. You come back next week, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. While you gone though, I need you to do this, this, and this. I see you in 3 weeks, you'll be white. You better be white in 3 weeks.
Right. And they expect them to be white, especially they got
everybody expect them to be white in 3 weeks.
right.
If I said I can get you white today, but I need you to do this, and this, you better be white today. And that's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about just. I don't think that people are carrying the knowledge anymore. They're trying to make money so fast that they don't understand that this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
So, like I said, the game of barbering is in a weird spot right now. We'll see where it goes in 10 years.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sheesh. But there is hope.
There it is.
And
I won't be here in 10 years. I'll be done.
You be done at 10 or before 10?
Way before 10.
Way before 10? How long you been cutting again? Since 2012?
2010.
2010?
It's 12 years for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got you.
It's 12 years. 13 years. Almost 13 years. Yeah.
I gotta figure out a way, man, because I don't want to rip off Drink Champs, man, with the whole flowers, man. I'm gonna have to come up with a, you know what I mean, of people that I admire in their profession, man, that are experts, man, that really care about the craft and were called to do this. You know what I mean? Because you are appreciated, man. You, Potter, so many other people that's in the city. The state has a rich history. I think each state has a rich history of barbering, though, because it's a service, it's a staple, it's a business. You know what I mean? But it's you have those that just stick out. We had earlier conversation because the barbershop is the sanctuary. You know, basketball's gonna come up. You know what I mean? So, you know, you people, they cherish Jordan and Kobe and people that have a good skill set that can just transfer for decades. You know what I mean? And if the younger generation refuses to have an open ear to the knowledge that's going to get passed down to you to keep this thing going, you might as well get ready to pull out that old cereal bowl, man, and get the doing your own, man, because all hope is going to be lost, man. So hopefully that's not the case, man.
I don't think that's the case. I just think it needs to happen.
Got you, man. Well, brother, man, D, the hair raiser, man, this was a pleasure for me, man. Thank you so much for your time, man. I've been wanting to do this with you, man, for at least a few months, man. I know we've been off and on and everything, but man, it finally happened, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gentleman's Corner, man. Back with another one. I got one of the elites in the region. I'm gonna keep saying that. And this man is talented. I'm gonna have all the information throughout the video, man. Support the Dapper Douglas brand, the Gentleman's Corner, man. We taking this thing locally. Regionally soon though, man, but we appreciate y'all time, man. Until next time, peace.